everybody. Welcome to the 28-day series celebrating Black History Month through Black women entrepreneurs. Today, we did a various amount of roundtable discussions with several Black women who are in business. This initiative is through Black Women in Excellence. Black Women in Excellence has been established since 2020, and I work with 67 Black women entrepreneurs. And I'm excited to bring this initiative for Black History Month 2023. You're gonna see, dynamic Black women who have functional, viable, sustainable businesses. You're gonna hear our experiences, our barriers, and what the economy is benefiting from us, along with some of our issues, some things that we'd like to see from the financial institutions, from organizations, and better, equipped with support from our community. So come with me, join me, and enjoy this initiative for 28-day series celebrating Black History Month through Black women entrepreneurs. Hello, welcome to the 28-day series celebrating Black History Month through Black women entrepreneurs here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I'm welcoming Terra Smith, Shila Hamilton, and Carlette Grey with me this morning. And thank you guys for showing up.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Happy to be here.
Having me.
Oh, I like that. Happy to be here. She's so proper. We are going to have a conversation here today. It's not going to be nothing intense. Pretend that we're just talking as a bunch of Black women and to try to overcome some of the things that we're dealing with as Black women entrepreneurs. What are some of the barriers you have or are facing, and are those barriers attributed to systematic racism and discrimination or unconscious biases?
It was hard for me to get a lender to believe in me and believe in my vision. Absolutely. Until I came across a lender after pounding the pavement for 6 months. A lender finally gave me a chance through partnership with you to actually fund me and be able to help me get my business up and going. So I feel like being something we deal with is being Black. They always look at us as bad credit, or they're not going to pay their bills or anything. And I have a really good job outside of me trying to run a business, and it took me a while, but they gave me a chance, and I'm happy. But I feel like that was one of the barriers I faced, and being a woman, going in there and looking at me funny. Different people were looking at me funny, like, is she really going to pay this back? Is her business going to be really viable? Am I going to be able to get my money back? Because that's all they want. They want to know if the money they give you, are you going to be able to give it back?
Absolutely. Do you think that if there wasn't a partnership with Black Women in Excellence with that financial institution, you would have felt confident enough to go in there by yourself and ask for money and receive that money?
No. I felt, because I've gotten the door slammed on my face so many times through bigger lender banks, and telling me in emails, well, no, maybe apply in 2 years or work and save some money, and just telling me all the stuff I knew, but it wasn't helping me get my business up and going. So if I didn't have that partnership.
It's bad for business. Carla, you have any overview on that one?
Whatever I make comes in, I spend it to buy product and stuff like that. So.
Do you think that if you had an opportunity to have access to capital, or someone gave you a loan, or an investor gave you money, would you take the opportunity in doing so?
Most definitely. It would help me a lot with product and just different things where I see my business going. Like, it would help in that way.
So my question to you would be, why haven't you went that route yet?
Because I don't really know where to start.
Okay. Well, Black Women in Excellence, yes.
That's why I enrolled for your program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Terra, what are some of your barriers as a Black woman in business?
I find if you don't know what you're going into before you start, then you shouldn't go through something without asking and getting the proper channels before you just go into a bank and asking for a loan. Know some of the verbiage that they're talking when you go into the bank, because some of that time when you go in, the stuff is way over your head and you're like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
Absolutely.
So I find when I took Tia's class, it gave me the mind frame of knowing what I needed to know before I actually go into the bank to apply for a loan.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. And let me tell you guys, this is not scripted at all. They didn't even see these questions before they sat at this table with me today. I was actually speaking to someone yesterday because I am looking at doing an actual manual, with regards to terminology, Afrocentric based, that we can understand. So you'll have the proper term when it comes to businesses. And then you'll have how we would say it in our culture, in our hoods, in our communities, like how we talk, how we speak. Because that is one of the biggest issues is when you're going to a bank or you're approaching an investor with your pitch, there are certain questions they'll ask and they're going to use those big words that you may not know. And I think that's one of the biggest barriers that a lot of black businesses, not just women, so it ain't just a woman thing, a lot of black businesses are not equipped with the verbiage, the terminology, to understanding.
And what to bring.
And what to bring.
If I didn't walk into that bank with all my ducks in a row, all my papers, my business plan booming, page, picture, like I feel like he would have looked at me like, what's this girl in here for?
You're wasting my time.
You're wasting my time. But he was so happy that I came with everything. He didn't even ask me to send him anything. He's like, you literally have everything here.
Wow.
Like
that's
everything
good.
there.
Yeah. And I mean, I am.
And I learned that through.
Yeah, I am really bad when it comes to, I shouldn't say forcing, but I really am persistent when it comes to developing a solid business plan, 3-year financial projections. And before you can do all that, you have to do an intense market research, before you can even go into that. And I just want to mention, Inova Credit Union has been wonderful working with Thomas and Carla. So shout out to Inova Credit Union up on Almond Street. I guess, I could do a second question, but I think I'm going to bring in someone else on this second question. Okay, welcome back. We had to bring in another person onto the panel, do the little round table to get another perspective. So the question I'm going to ask is, social media makes entrepreneurship look so sexy. Would you say this is a true representation of how entrepreneurship looks and feels when it comes to black women in business?
Well, I love your lives because sometimes you come on live just raw, just after after a regular day, and that's how we look most of the time. It's like no makeup, hair's a mess, we're just coming off a 12-hour day or we've just been dealing with so much during the day. I think there is this perception that being an entrepreneur, you have a lot of time, you have a lot of people working for you, you have all this money. You might be probably the brokest you've ever been as an entrepreneur for a long time. Nobody works for you. You literally work for everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody on your team, all your clients. So you really have to be, I think, prepared for that reality. Don't buy into the social media. Yeah. There's a whole other side of it. Yeah.
Totally agree. I feel like when it comes to social media, I see a lot of celebrities talk about entrepreneurship and starting businesses and getting their bags. They make it look so pretty, and I'm like, girl, now you didn't wake up today looking like this with these lashes and nails and your hair is all pressed out. You're just putting it on a show to make it seem like this is what it looks like. You're not traveling whenever you want to travel. You're not taking vacations. You're missing time away from your family, your children, your husband, your partner. And people don't talk about it, so I do appreciate you saying my lives. Because I do go on my rants, as Shila said earlier. I didn't do no rants this week.
She's good this week.
I'm good this week. But I do it because I like to talk about the realness of entrepreneurship, especially when it comes to black businesses and primarily black women, because the facade that the social media puts out there, and even some other people who are in business as black businesses, the facade they put out there is not really the truth. And then you have the youth that are coming in think it's going to be easy when it's not.
And that's what I feel. Social media will bring a presence, and then people look at it and be like, oh, that's so easy. She made this much money. Yeah. Like, oh my God. But you don't really know, behind closed doors, some people are depressed. Some people are broke. Some people don't even sleep. They're running on no sleep, Red Bull after Red Bull. Overtired, you know what I mean, to run a business, to try to get it up and running. So I feel like you have to listen to the people that are on social media that come in raw and live. Absolutely. And maybe are really blunt and you don't really like what they have to say, versus someone who's, like you said, all dressed up, lashes, nails done, hair done, sitting there going, buy my lip gloss. Yeah. It's not that serious. It's not that simple.
I mean, I'm all done up today, but I do want black women to come to Black Women in Excellence. Even though I'm done up today, it's not an everyday thing. If you go to my Instagram or anywhere else, you'll see T don't always look like this. The representation for me, it drives me nuts. And that's why I talk about it a lot, because entrepreneurship is not easy. I could probably count, or I'll probably lose count at this point, how many events that I've missed through my family, or how many, cancellations I do on my children for things I promised to do with them. And I know like Carlette does this, she's known for the strawberries, chocolate covered infused strawberries with alcohol and all that jam. That's what she does. But I know for you, I thought about you guys in the food industry during the holidays because having those big orders come in, you and Halifax Charcuterie, my daughter, Luxury Chocolate Bombs, I know they were like overwhelmed and swamped. And it wasn't a good, people were like, oh, well, you're making money. Having that balance sucks.
But
You wanna
sometimes
talk
the
about
money
that?
is not, sometimes the money is like, it's not worth your family experience either. I know the first year I started, Christmas Day, I worked until like Christmas Eve, like the afternoon. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. I had so much on my plate. Mom's like, never again.
Yeah.
But after that, I figured it out. I learned balance. I learned how much I can actually take on, how much, when I need to stop and cut back and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, we have our high seasons and our low seasons and our holidays where you usually spend it with family and friends. Those are now our high seasons.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. One thing before we end, one thing that you would tell an entrepreneur who wants to start a business today, what should they know?
Figure out the problems to small solutions first, because if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to figure out solutions for the bigger problems when you have a team, when you have a space,
Absolutely.
when you have all these things. So start small, pace yourself, and then build a network, because these spaces are so valuable. Like if I didn't have you guys to talk to about balancing business, balancing kids, balancing families, like you would burn out so fast. But knowing that it's not just me, that we're all kind of experiencing it together, that's probably the biggest reason why I'm still going, like, to be honest. Yeah.
Community.
Community network. What about you?
I would say make sure sometimes you have your family included in your business a little bit, because I find when I don't get the kids to help me do something, they feel like they're left out. So make everybody feel, just because it's just you have them to fall back on to help you as well as just yourself.
Okay, that's nice. And she doesn't mean bring your family in as partners in your business. She means have your family support you mentally, physically into your business. Have them be a part of it so they feel like as you grow, they're growing with you. Because I'm not about mixing family and business together. Shila, what about you?
I feel like there's two things. I feel like when you're going into business, make sure it's something that you're passionate about. Don't just go into a business for money because you see it's like, oh, it's really lucrative, because you may not be passionate about it, so you may not give it your all.
That's a big one.
Right?
I wasn't expecting that one. Carlette, what about you?
Seek help.
Yeah.
Reach out to those around you that look like you, especially that have been through it before you. Because sometimes you just don't know. As a new entrepreneur, there's a lot of things I didn't know. So like to have people that I could reach out to and ask these questions to that could lead me and guide me in the right direction.
Absolutely. Perfect. Wow, I thank you guys for sitting with me today and having this chit chat. Hopefully I have you guys back again in the future, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.